Hey Messiah, Texas, it's Brandi Moore, and I'm here with your 5-Minute Friday. As you know, we've been going through the book of Psalms, one each week, and we're on Psalm 9. I'm going to read just a few verses, and then we're going to dive in. Starting with verse 1. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all of your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne, giving righteous judgment. You have rebuked the nations. You have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy came to an end in everlasting ruins. Their cities you rooted out. The very memory of them has perished. Okay, so we're going to stop there for a second. So what I see right here, I've read through this multiple times throughout my life, and I always think I don't have a physical enemy, like human enemy, that is pursuing me like David did within all of this. But what I saw this time is the true enemy of my life, which is sin. And so in verse 3, when my enemies turn back, when my sins turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. Sin cannot thrive in the presence of the Father. And so when we accept salvation, when we accept Jesus as the ultimate sacrifice and accept what he has done for us and what the love that the Father has for us, our sin cannot stand. Okay? And it says, for you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne giving righteous judgment. We know that he's a righteous judge. Okay, going back to verse 5. You have rebuked the nations and you have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. Again, it's just talking about sin. But when we have things in our life, like sin and things like that, it creates ickiness inside. We sometimes create vows. Like I remember as a middle schooler dealing with rejection from my peers. Now, I did not experience a major trauma of like bullying or anything like that, but I did experience the rejection, and it doesn't feel good. But through that experience, I did create like a vow of, I will reject people. I will never be rejected again, and I will reject people before they can reject me. And so that's what I see when I'm reading about the nations and the cities that he rooted out. So not only does he forgive our sin, but he actually uproots all of these nasty things that are in our life so that we can then sing praises. Verse 11, sing praises to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds. And also we go right back to verse 1. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When we experience the freedom of salvation and working through our sin and uprooting all the ickiness that has inside that has come from sin, we can sing of his praises forever. We can exalt him, and then we can tell all the people of what has happened in our life. And if you continue to read throughout this psalm, the rest of the psalm is kind of like the ebb and flow of life. It's like, oh, here's where I messed up, but God is faithful. Here's where I need to dig a little deeper, but God is faithful. And so when we root out the bad and we praise him for it and praise him for showing us and providing a way for salvation, I am constantly amazed at his goodness. So I encourage you to dig into this psalm even deeper. And when you're reading it, ask, what are the enemies of my life? What are the sins in my life? What are the cities, the vows, the strongholds that I have in my life? And how do I go to him to uproot it so that I can praise him? So I challenge you this week to dig deeper, to praise him always, and remember that you have friends at Messiah, Texas.